Why? Why? Stay tuned. Welcome back to Gamer Meld. It feels like I've been giving nothing but bad news lately, and I'm sorry, but unfortunately there's more bad news. Well, seemingly believable rumors, at least for gamers. Video Cards is claiming they've received information from unnamed yet reliable sources on RX Vega's hash rate. They had it typed up for a couple days ago, but waited for confirmation. The confirmation came from Overclocker's UK forums. I will say that he's actually changed his original post by adding "if true," which obviously makes this more of a grain of salt type thing, but he did get it from a pretty decent source as well. The issue is that recently a Monero miner, which luckily isn't where Ethereum is in value, but still, he was able to get quite a huge jump in hash rates with Vega FE from some simple tweaks. We're talking 34% higher than a 1080 Ti. This leads me to believe these rumors have at least a possibility of being true. Now, while they aren't verified, and you should take them as such and simply be aware, I still figured it was something to discuss prior to the release of Vega, especially for those hoping to pick one up for gaming. Basically, be on the lookout for the expected hash rate on these cards to make sure that this is true. According to Video Card Source, a new RX Vega driver has doubled the amount of hashes it can run in Ethereum compared to the current driver on Vega FE. It seems to have been unintentional, but is more than likely a necessary update for gamers. Either way, if it's true, we could be looking at a hash rate from 60, as Video Cards reports, to as high as 100 in Ethereum. Yeah, for reference, the 580 gets around 23. Now, the higher power consumption of Vega would be a factor, but it still looks pretty great overall, especially if it releases at MSRP, and given the prices people are willing to spend on just the 580, it's doubtful the gaming packages will deter miners much, if at all. Hopefully it's wrong, but there is a glimmer of hope. It has been confirmed that Vega was delayed at least partially because they wanted to have more stock before release with all the mining craze going on. This actually makes sense given a report not too long ago that it was delayed due to shortages. It probably wasn't really a shortage, but more of a fear of having one with the mining as popular as it was. Well, somewhat still is. Please keep in mind that AMD and partners aren't happy about this, to be honest. Miners have very quick return rates, and it's why they're selling cards with a shorter warranty. Unfortunately, thanks to laws in the US and UK, they aren't able to sell those mining cards here, so miners in those countries can only buy consumer cards. Either way, with the higher stock, if they actually are great at mining, some gamers may get the chance to snag one before they're gone. Plus, Ethereum isn't as popular as it once was, so there's hope. Next up, AMD has released details on Threadripper's compatible coolers, and while you'll need a new bracket, there are quite a few options. Cooler Master even has a Threadripper specific edition of the ever popular Hyper 212 coming out, which makes a lot of sense given how big it is. Not many blocks can easily cover that beast of a CPU. Speaking of beastly CPUs, Threadripper has been confirmed of having a staggering 40 megabytes of L3 cache in the 16-core 1950X, and wait for it, 38 megabytes of L3 cache in the 1920X. Basically, a crapload of cache, which I think will be exciting to see how it affects the speed of the chip and keeping the insane number of cores fed. Lastly, while still on the topic of beastly CPUs known as Threadripper, Asus, ASRock, and Gigabyte may have accidentally leaked an upcoming one with the release of the X399 product support pages. It's the Threadripper 1920 non-X variant. As you'd expect based on past experiences, this version is the same 12-core CPU as the 1920X, but with lower clocks, setting it at a 3.2 GHz base and 3.8 GHz boost. Considering the 1920X is already a very well-priced CPU, it's going to be crazy to see something even better. At some point, they'll just be fighting against themselves. So while that does it for today's news, let me know what you think. Are you really excited for Threadripper? And what about Vega? Are you going to be picking one up? Are you worried you might not have a chance to? Let me know in the comments below. That does it for now. If you liked the video, don't forget to subscribe by clicking on the round icon in the middle. You can check out the most recent video and suggested video to the left. Thanks so much for coming, and as always, have a great day.